More women need to be involved in politics and governance to ensure gender equity and sustainable development. This was a major area of discussion at a gender mainstreaming event in Kaduna State, where participants asked all levels of government to give more women the opportunity to contribute to national development.
The participation of women in governance and politics is important not only to their progress as individuals, but also to the success and development of the nation. It is against this backdrop that these participants from different spheres of life gather here to discuss issues affecting women, seeking ways to champion their cause and ensure they get their rights in society. One of the facilitators, Cecilia Idika Kalu, stresses the need for women to be given a voice in nation building.
We believe that irrespective of the fact that the issues are myriad, women have a very important and key role to play to see how we can begin to change the course of things in Nigeria, especially as regards gender development and increasing performance in the public sector.
A representative of the Kaduna State government decries the non-participation of women in politics, especially at grassroots level. She encourages women to engage more in political activities.
Let us also look at the way women can venture, into politics, more. Let us venture more into politics. We have the capability, but we have seen it as a main domain, over the years. And we are scared, to go into it.
At the end, participants here agree that women equip themselves more with managerial and leadership skills to be better positioned for their assigned responsibilities, as well as opportunities that will come their way.
The need for Nigerians to look inwards and consume locally made products have come on the front burner again today in Lagos. That's at the Tinubu Colloquium. The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Ministers of Trade and Investment and his finance counterparts spoke at an event on how to grow local industries. The keynote speaker, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, talked about how the troops have created locally fabricated warfare equipment for the Nigerian Air Force in combating insurgency in Nigeria's northeast. The President Muhammadu Buhari, in his goodwill message delivered by the Minister of Interior, says it's time for Nigerians to embrace made in Nigeria goods to help fortify the economy. Well, Cross River State Governor Professor Ben Ayade is unhappy about the revenue allocated to the state over the years. In a meeting with the chairman of the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, Governor Ayade said the federal government has treated the state unfairly in terms of funding after ceding the oil-rich Bakassi Peninsula to Cameroon.
Early this year, the Commission has so far directed the release of 37.5 billion naira. That means at the end of May this year, Cross River State will receive 39 billion naira cumulatively.
The Supreme Court ruling went beyond just ceding the oil wells, but went further to say federal government must find means to provide alternative for the state. So you have a state, you have taken their land, taken their oil, taken them away from 13%, reduced them to whipping child in NDDC, sit back and over a stretch of 11 years, count on 30 billion plus. It doesn't pay our salary in 4 months, in 5 months. Just go back and calculate excess crude that was paid at the time oil was 100 naira to $1. At that time we were getting zero because we were no longer part of the oil producing states. The agony, the pain, you can only reflect better when you sit back and imagine you are from Cross River in the position that God has given you. And so God knows why in his infinite mercy he sent you to head a delegation to come and conduct a due diligence survey. And by the time you come and you see the densification of things that we have done in spite of nothing, to show that we have kept with the spirit of the Supreme Court judgment that says Cross River must find means and ways to decouple from dependence of federation allocation and ways to sustain their wage bill. by investing and diversifying into areas that can create alternative revenue. Garment factory, pharmaceutical. We have so many industries that we are setting up. The power plant. Government is aggressively going into deep support in all of this. How many trillions can actually address this, our aspiration and dreams? We plead in the spirit of emotions that please, the circumstance of our state does not call for an analytical appraisal of the income so far to the state. If it's relative to 30-something billion, this state would have been under and buried. Well, how can the people feel a sense of captivity in a nation they call their own? So this visit is a God-sent visit. And we are not in a position to accept an extension of 500 million a month. Take it. We don't need it.
State governments should begin to explore potentials and strategies that will enhance and stimulate growth in their various economies. This was the general consensus after a 3-day retreat organized by the Sokoto State government for administrative and political leaders. The meeting, which was held in Jos Plateau State, looked at ways the present administration in Sokoto State can enhance its service delivery.
Political and public office holders from Sokoto State are in Jos, the Plateau State capital.
The governors of Sokoto and Plateau State.
They are joined by the governors of Sokoto and Plateau States, the Sultan of Sokoto Saad Abubakar III, and the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, John Oyegun, to brainstorm on ways of moving Sokoto State forward.
It is in the light of this development that we see the need to organize this second annual retreat in collaboration with Africa Consultant Limited with the theme Consolidation of Achievements and New Strategies for Effective Service Delivery in Sokoto State.
Plateau State Governor and the APC National Chairman believe the retreat is timely, especially at this time of economic slowdown.
The theme of this retreat further finds justification in the fact that we do not only need to consolidate on the modest achievements made so far, but that we must evolve new strategies for effective and efficient service delivery with scarce resources.
The significance of what you are doing is fantastic, it's critical. Has the structure to deliver these services and these policies been effective in the implementation of the policies you agreed on 2 years ago?
And for the Sultan of Sokoto Saad Abubakar III, if states or the country must succeed, there must be a cordial relationship between all levels of government.
Other arms of government, the legislature, the judiciary, and the fourth leg, the local government, all coming together. That will allow us to have one single program where all of us will be on one page.
At the end of the 3-day retreat, participants here are expected to come up with a blueprint of policies and strategies that will stimulate growth and development for the people of Sokoto State.